Sorry for the delay, and still some people here. And I'm Tainan Chen. I'm here to talk about the relation between Pokemon Go and OpenStreetMap. And I'm mostly focused on the community prospect of observation the Pokemon switch to OSM. Okay, I'm Des. My OSM ID is Superflex, and I use my spare time to contribute to OpenStreetMap. And I'm also a Wikipedian contributors. And OpenStreetMap, I have some promotion activity. I hold a monthly meetup in Taipei. Okay, I'm third rank in Taiwan. Okay. And just a few short slides about Taiwan current situation. We're mostly focused on the hiking map improvement because we didn't have a good solution for commercial maps supporting hiking maps. And the government-owned data is not enough to support the hiking map. So we have to mapping hiking trails by the contributors from the hiking communities. And there's active hiking communities are building with editing abilities. And I think 2 years ago, Logma server is launched in Hsinchu. We contribute a server for the OpenStreetMap tile service. And we have a very, very active OpenStreetMap the community in Taiwan. And we're quite, OpenStreetMap community in Taiwan is quite good relation with open source guy in Taiwan. Now is the time of the main topic. Everybody recognize this photo, right? One of the OpenStreetMap blog has doing this, Photoshop this photo here. That's right. The Pokemon Go, the company behind Pokemon Go, Niantic just switched to OpenStreetMap and bring lots of new mappers into the OpenStreetMap ecosystems. And recently we have Tainan Safari. It's the activity and real life in Taiwan city, Tainan. Niantic works with Tainan city government, a local government in Taiwan, to have some kind of tourist attraction activities and sponsored by Niantic. We can saw there's a huge Pikachu there, and and interact with other players. There are some other two photos about the event. It attracts not only Taiwanese, but also some Pokemon players around the world. Okay, here's some summarize about the Pokemon Go relation with OpenStreetMap. In 2016, someone find out the correlation of OpenStreetMap and Pokemon Go. And the first thing is, it seems that Niantic has just attract some land use or natural data from OpenStreetMap to determine what area should bring what monster. For example, if you're near a river, then we will have some water types monsters near the river or canyon or small ponds. And that time, the in-game maps still use Google Maps data. And this is someone someone taking notes about what type of tag will bring what type of effect in the Pokemon Go map. Here's other posts in Redact that someone has taken notes about which type of land use natural use tag is much affects what type of monster will appear. That's called a swarm rate. Determine which monster will be most frequently near that area. And now in 2017, in November, the in-game map switched to OpenStreetMap data the first time. And I think the all Pokemon Go players noticed the difference. And someone complains that why there's no building around my house? Because some area, more rival areas, like in Taiwan, they has no maps buildings. So there will be just empty, just some major road network there. And also there are some broken tiles that don't appear. And we find out there might be some Niantic just filters some land use, military land use, so they just doesn't appear normally. Here's an example of the title that contains land use of militaries. They're just seeing some empty green image there. And this is the one I mentioned about natural effect on the Pokemon Go game. If we're near a river, that line, okay, sounds good, background noise. Okay, if we're near a river, there will see some types of water types of monsters appear more frequently than other types of monsters. And now in the January 2018, there's a second map updates. There's just in-game map change, the game style. They have updated to a much newer OpenStreetMap data, but there's still some lag between the real-time OpenStreetMap data. And doesn't affect the swamp rate either. And the one that I mentioned, the broken titles, is fixed in this editions. So they just makes no monster appear near the military area. But military areas, if they have building in the military areas, the building will show up normally. And this is another image from the OpenStreetMap blog. We have seen some increasing park ad on the OpenStreetMap database. It's quite a huge step, much step curve you can see. And for the local Taiwanese, we have someone discussing about, there's someone asking on a popular forum says, is there anyone adding new stuff on OpenStreetMap due to Pokemon Go? And the answer is quite positive. And someone even says, we shouldn't make fake things on the OpenStreetMap database, like some fake parks to increase certain types of monsters will appear in the game. And here's another blog post and also OSM wiki post that encourage people to, because you are playing Pokemon Go and then know OpenStreetMap, and there's tips for these players to contribute to OpenStreetMap. You can add roads if they're missing, or there's no building, you can add it on the game if it's already existed in the real environment. And this is some guess, because I'm not an employee of Niantic, so this is just some guess. And I think the first positive motive is even Niantic is a close relation with Google. If they use the map data from Google, they still need to pay many monies because there are a huge internet traffic by the Pokemon Go players. And the second is, we didn't know Niantic, how often did Niantic update the map? So if we contribute now and add some real stuff, like buildings, road networks, parks, some forests, it won't appear just 2 days in the Pokemon Go app. And sometimes we have to wait for months to make the edit effect in Pokemon Go app. And there are some problems appears because someone just fixed something in the OpenStreetMap servers. And here's the OSM chart, the MapMark QA toys, to monitor the change set situation. And someone's are complaining because there's a map here, there's a park here, but isn't done any X-ray, non-X-ray. And this is due to some technical problem of Niantic's handle of area stuff. Because the park is mapped in relation type. So Niantic doesn't handle relation very, very properly. So it should be some X-ray in the park, because in the park is not that many people are there, and it's safe to run around. It should, if you bring X-ray in that area, it should be okay. It should be safe. but Niantic can't handle relation very properly. So they did work again. The same person just delete the relation and add a new way of the park. It's quite annoying of this kind of stuff. And here's my summarize. Pokemon Go use OpenStreetMap makes OSM more well known to a more bigger audience. And due to Google Maps raise its price, more companies will use OpenStreetMap data in some form. Those companies should be prepared about this kind of trend. And the QA challenge, and for the whole OpenStreetMap community, we should have set a more general goal to what we want to achieve, because gamers will much focus on the thing they are interested in, and company has their own goals. So for the whole OpenStreetMap community, we should have some general goals to do. And here's, thank you for listening and having any questions.
Thank you. Any questions? I cannot see any hands. Oh.
Hi, Dennis.
Yeah.
So what has been the challenge for the OpenStreetMap community when it comes to new mappers editing specific features that are related to Pokemon Go?
The most common feature was added is parks, because parks is determine factors to decide if an X-ray will appear in that area. And so for more rural parts in Taiwan, the park is not well mapped. So we have to make sure if you add it correctly. Most of the case, the people, new mappers, adding stuff is okay. Just a few with bad intention, we're adding some fake, even fake stuff in it, database.
Any more questions?
So this is something that I have been personally struggling. So I recently made a shift from Google Maps to OSM. And one of the things I automatically realized was Google Maps looks more beautiful. And as a user, I'm not a tech person, but as a user, I did feel the difference. But I'm glad to hear that Pokemon Go, the game, has shifted to OSM. So how do you manage that visual appeal of the map? I mean, I realized while looking at your slides that maybe you are using animations, but how do you make OSM mode visually appealing?
That's a good question, because I think there's other thing we should consider is the map data itself, not just the in-game style. So it has to be more people to engage in OpenStreetMap, to adding stuff in it, like buildings, to make it much more appears to the people, new people, the new people of OpenStreetMap.